All right, perfect. Okay, I'm here with Michael Chase Corley. Sir, my pleasure to be speaking with you. Can you introduce yourself to everyone who doesn't know you and tell us what IFMA is?
I am Michael Corley, president of the United States Muay Thai Federation. We're the national body for IFMA. IFMA is the International Federation of Muay Thai Associations. It's the IOC recognized body for Muay Thai.
What does it mean to be IOC recognized?
It's a process. It's the provisional recognition right now. So it's you got their foot in the door with the Olympics, and it's a process to get worked into Junior Olympics. It could be an exhibition game, then it could be in the game. Sometimes in host cities like Tokyo, they're having karate put in, but you probably won't see karate again in the Olympics after that. Whereas host cities get to pick the game but it's got to be recognized. So getting recognition is first. In different countries, that gets their foot in the door with funding from the governments and different things like that.
Right. And I'm working with WAKO with their tournament coming up here at the end of March in Delaware. And, that's how this all kind of came up. And when I'm talking with Rob Zabilski, I had asked him if you guys, because you both want to be eventually someday in the Olympics, you're kind of in the same position here. And I was wondering, I had asked him, but are you guys competitors? Are you guys fighting each other for a spot? Or do you look at it like this is something you guys can work together on?
No, I see it as a team. We share a lot of the same athletes. A lot of our there's just not enough opportunity in the U.S., so a lot of our guys compete in both. And I encourage a lot of our athletes to compete in both, just in the U.S. because it's so hard to get experience. So no, I don't see that. We both have the same fight with to build, so it's better to work together on stuff like that.
Right. And you are working together with other organizations, right? I mean, even I think you'd mentioned when they did other tournaments and stuff that they would register
Right.
with IFMA as well.
The first start that was the United States Muay Thai Open. They have the thing set up where it's the athletes register under us, and then some other campaigns started getting the YDL started developing. They do a membership with us. The TBA, they did it last year with us and Canada, which was pretty cool. And then this year they're going to be doing it again. And this stuff just helps with building the membership base that we can present that to Olympic Committee, and also boost our finances for us to help support the athletes that go to the competition.
Right. How does we're getting, especially from pros that are going to be competing in a WAKO tournament, the question is, why do we have to pay to compete? And I mean, from our side, I think there's an awful lot of expenses, but how do you address that when an athlete says we have to pay to compete and they don't want to, or they're pros and are above that? Not that all of them feel that way, but some of them do.
Right. I would ask them how many times are they competing in the year here in the U.S. And I think even our most busiest guys is tops 4 or 5, and you can go and get, in some cases in certain weight classes, you can go and get 4 or 5 international fights in a tournament. It's an investment into your future. Can you be successful without a WAKO tournament or an IFMA tournament? Sure, but it's almost like it's like college. You can pay to go to college and get that education, that experience. I look at it like that. You can go and get this experience. Not saying that you can't be great without it, but it does certainly help to get. The thing I say is look at all the people that we've had that do get the experience, and how does it translate into their pro career afterwards. Janet Todd, she fights in one championship, fighting for the world title this weekend. Has probably over 15 IFMA style fights internationally. Troy Jones fought for the Glory Kickboxing world title a couple months ago, several IFMA bouts, World Games bouts. So it translates. I think it helps people.
Right. So when What should a career of an they be fighting a year, assuming they're proficient in their craft and they have the skills? What do you think leads up to a world champion at the World Games for IFMA or WAKO?
For a U.S. athlete, they're gonna have to invest into some tournaments. They're gonna have to invest into getting as much experience as they can, because the reality is, if you're fighting just once or twice a year, it's going to be really hard to compete on a world level where guys have over 100 matches. So in the U.S., it's very hard. It's very regionalized. Certain states don't have any opportunities for people, and they got to travel a lot. So it's hard. So I'm sure WAKO's in the same position. We try to get affiliated with as many people that are like-minded as us to try and create, opportunities for people. It is almost pay to play. I mean, it is like you got to go to the tournaments. You got to register for different things just so you can get there. But I think that's with any sport. You got to, try and get your experience up. When I played baseball, I remember I had to pay for tournaments and pay for uniforms and pay for this. I think it's the same anywhere.
Right. What are your ambitions as far as the World Games? What is your team looking like? Is that your ultimate goal over the next couple of years, the World Games in Birmingham, or is it something else?
Yeah, well, we have our youth team is doing really well, and I don't know that some of them might be ready for World Games. It's going to be kind of interesting. 2021 around the March time, we're looking to do a qualifier, because the host country for Muay Thai, I don't know if it's the same for kickboxing, but for Muay Thai, we get 6 men's slots and 6 women's spots. They're for us. They're already like set aside as the host country. You get those spots, so they don't have to qualify at the world tournaments. But that's a good and bad thing. Just because you win a national qualifier, you're going to be going against someone that's had to accumulate points over the last 3 years, winning European championships, world championships. So we're building to that. It's going to be a tough challenge, but I think the more we educate and let people know about what's happening, I think we might do pretty good with it. So to answer it, I'm looking to do our first team qualifier in February, March, April, so it gives them ample time to get prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. When an athlete, and it's a little bit of a change of subject, competes in IFMA, a Muay Thai athlete, what could they expect as far as the rules? Is there anything that stands out that kind of maybe separates them from shows that are going on around the country?
It's a little more fast-paced, I would say. It's got to be effective striking, or they're not going to, for instance, in the clinch, if there's a lot. I've been to several shows in different states where they'll let them say they're working in the clinch, but they're really just tapping each other. So they are working, but they're not effectively working. Whereas at IFMA, if you're not effectively working, giving something to the judges to see, they're going to break it. It's 3-minute rounds, so it's a little bit quicker. People don't come out, start slow. They come right out the gate and start going. So that's probably the biggest difference, I would say.
And the scores are displayed as well, correct?
Yes. So every round they display a live scoring. So after each round, you'll know red corner, blue corner, 10-9 system as well. So you're down 2 rounds going to the 3rd round. You better try and stop them.
You better go. Very good. What do you see in the future, or even right now, as this becomes more popular, sponsorships for the athletes and stuff like that, and helping them getting to the next level and things of that nature?
Truly, I think the biggest thing for both of us, the most changing thing for kickboxing and Muay Thai is the USOC packet. If we get that passed, that goes that we're able to conduct our type of events, the Olympic style of Muay Thai and kickboxing, without using state sanctioning bodies, similar to USA Boxing. I think that's when you start getting people that want to, it's going to increase membership. It's going to increase sponsorship, because sponsors want to see those rings, and associate with the rings. Oh, you're provisionally recognized? what's that mean? They want to see the full USOC recognition.
Right.
Where
Right.
I think in WAKO and us share a similar thing where there's probably 30 or more countries around the world that already have their national Olympic committees backing. We're still working on that. So,
I mean, so just so people understand, if Muay Thai eventually gets to the Olympics, or K1 eventually gets to the Olympics, IFMA and WAKO is what they have to get behind now to make that happen in the future. Is that correct? Is that a fair statement?
what's that?
If Muay Thai is going to get into the Olympics,
Right?
people need to start backing IFMA now to make that happen in the future.
Yes.
I mean, I just want to be fair about
I want it to be. To be again. There's not enough IFMA events. There's not enough WAKO events nationally for it to be just our events only.
No. I didn't mean that, but
I think for people, I think people need to recognize for the highest level of tournament style is going to be WAKO and IFMA. Like IFMA, the names are former stadium champions in Thailand. You got world champions all over. Same with WAKO. You're fighting 5 or 6 times. You're making weight every day. This is the Olympic style of it. Is there Glory is not Olympic style. Lumpini Stadium is not IFMA style, but it's okay. But when you're looking at the teams representing your country on the Olympic scale, I think people need to put their support towards IFMA and WAKO and other Olympic sports.
Right. Absolutely. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a ninja or I wanted to box in the Olympics. Somehow it's led me to here. This is the happy medium, I guess. So this is great. This is, in my mind, is helping a lot and clearing up a lot of things. How did you find yourself leading this effort in the United States for IFMA?
I was an athlete at IFMA in 2008 and 2009, and then I was living in Thailand. I was working for Fairtex, the equipment company, and the team came to Thailand, and the head of it at that time wasn't able to make it. Well, he came eventually, but the first few days I kind of went in and was like the team manager, the head of it all, So I was going to meetings, and I was doing all kinds of stuff, and I was learning more, not just the athlete side, but the behind the scenes side of it. So that was in 2010. Then as the years progressed, they brought me on as like a help with, as a board and all, but we weren't getting a lot done. And then in 2016, I was given the opportunity to coach the team in Sweden. And then at that point, I was going to meetings because they were saying that there was a chance of us getting provisionally Olympic recognized. And they were saying that if countries weren't getting these criteria met, we're going to have to get somebody else involved. And I looked at it, I was like, man, we have a lot of work to do. And so at that time, I was one of those people that kept saying stuff, and I was like, you know what, I got to just do it. So I just said, hey, I'm going to put a bid in to run for this and, basically rebuild the whole brand and, get it going.
So how long has IFMA been around for?
Let's see. I would say just a little over 20 years, I think. It was IAMT. It was a different.
Okay, right. I remember when it changed, yeah.
The early 2000s, it went to IFMA.
Very good. All right, I think this has been fantastic, very informative. Is there anything that you would like to add or any events you would like to plug coming up or anything like that?
Go get experience. You guys, if I just real quick, I have just something really quick. I have here, Manasak, Kanonsak, Jimmy Vano, Yodwicha, Artem Levin, Yodsenklai, Pet Bunchu, Superbond, Artur Kashenko, Andrei Kulibin. Those are the type of dudes that go to these tournaments. Those are, you got to get experience. If you're a professional and you're not fighting a lot, sacrifice, go to Thailand, get your experience. If you're an amateur in the U.S., go to the tournaments, go Send your resume, your fight profile to every promoter, and try and get active. If you could set aside to go to the major tournaments of the year, you could probably get 10 bouts. So support the tournaments. We got United States Muay Thai Open coming up in April. There's the TBA in June, and then I'm sure I don't know the dates, have another tournament at the close of the year too. And then be on the lookout for the 2021 USA team qualifier for the World Games. It'll be open to high-level amateurs and professionals, and be cool.
Very good, very good. Hey, if I had money, which I don't, and what would make me want to sponsor an athlete, be it a K1 athlete, a boxer, or even or a Muay Thai athlete? Not even a Muay Thai, but specifically.
It's kind of touching on what we were saying earlier. You're there at the foundation of their career, where people could say, "Hey, I was there helping Valentina Shevchenko when she won." I think she won like 13 IFMAs. She was, you're there when Janet Todd did this, or Troy Jones did that, or Nathan Gaston for WAKO. You're there when they first started their career, and now they're one championship world title holders. They're Glory kickboxing title holders. You're sponsoring an athlete's. It's like a scholarship for them. You're giving them your college scholarship to go to the to their professional career afterwards.
Right. Very good. Very good. All right, Mr. Corley, it's been my pleasure. I'm glad we had a chance to sit down and talk. This is actually the first time we've ever spoken. We talked about 5 or 10 minutes before this, so I think this was fantastic, and I hope to blow this out. And I look forward to WAKO and IFMA doing things together in the future.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.